Anzac Day 2025, a time of national unity and remembrance, but this year, a shocking controversy has erupted within the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church. This isn't just about Anzac Day, it's about a pattern of control. A group known for its extreme separation from society, the Exclusive Brethren, or the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church as they're now known, is once again dictating what their children can and cannot do. And then, when the backlash hit, they did what cults do best: deny, deflect, deceive. On national TV, they claimed it never happened. This isn't the first time, though. The Exclusive Brethren have spent decades hiding their control over members until the truth comes out.
Ashley Raper there. A Kellyville school has angered veterans by allowing some students to opt out of Anzac Day events. The exemption request came from some parents affiliated with a fundamental Christian group, but the church says it does have deep respect for our Anzacs.
At Sherwood Ridge Public School, from each their best is at its core. It's also where a small number of parents believe it's best if their child can opt out of Anzac Day commemorations.
I believe it's absolutely important for kids to know, especially growing in this country. They should know what exactly Anzac Day is for.
I think it's a part of our heritage which is indisposable.
The school is holding a special Anzac service on April 10, but a number of students, some with links to the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church, don't want to participate. The school then gave other students the option to withdraw too.
Ironically, their right to make that choice has essentially been given to them by the tens of thousands of servicemen and women that have served our nation.
The Brethren Church issued a statement saying its members did not ask for children to be excused from the service. Meanwhile, the Education Minister has stepped in, saying all schools should respect the Anzac Day tradition.
We've made it very clear that it's not opt-in, that expectation will be clear not only to the school but to the rest of the 2,200 schools across New South Wales.
It's a critical subject that all of our youth should learn about.
More than 500 students from all over the state will gather here at the Hyde Park Anzac Memorial tomorrow for a special ceremony led by students themselves. It's a key part of preserving the legacy of those who have served. Tomorrow's event is also open to the public, should anyone else choose to opt in. Taylor Ryan for 10 News First.
In Sydney's northwest is being slammed by veterans this morning for giving students the option to opt out of an Anzac Day service held at the school. It's understood the move is aimed at accommodating a small number of students at Sherwood Ridge Public School whose families of Christian faith don't commemorate war.
Students who don't attend the special assembly will instead undertake supervised learning-related activities. For more, let's bring in RSL New South Wales President Mick Bainbridge and New South Wales Education Minister Prue Carr. Good morning to both of you. Mick, what was your reaction to this?
Look, I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed at the individuals and their parents. Let's not confuse a celebration with a commemoration. So giving thanks to our servicemen and women, the tens of thousands that have sacrificed their lives for our wonderful nation. I just think it's part of their right to choose, and that right, ironically, has been provided by the service of thousands of our men and women.
Yep.
Prue, you're going to step in here, aren't you? What are you hoping for?
Well, we've made it really clear that this isn't an opt-in. This is not an option. Public schools in New South Wales have been respecting the Anzacs and what they have done for our freedoms since the early 1950s. We're going to make that really clear today. The principal has apologised for this. Shouldn't have happened this way. I would say, Nat and Shervo, my own husband actually is a veteran, and this is pretty disappointing. Personally, he's actually going to be spending next week, the last week of term, going around to our local schools on behalf of our local RSL. So, look, I think schools across the state do this. It is our expectation that they do, and that our students learn about our history, including the sacrifice of our Anzacs and all servicemen and women that came after them.
Yeah, and go and talk to some diggers, which you would understand, Mick, and they would tell you the horrors of war and how they don't want to repeat it because, you know, there are so many awful things that happen and that's what we learn on days like this, don't we? Prue, have you spoken to the principal?
Look, I've been in touch with the Secretary of the Department who has spoken directly with the principal. We've made it very clear that it's not opt-in, that expectation will be clear not only to the school but to the rest of the 2,200 schools across New South Wales in a very clear communication this morning that it's not opt-in, that we are proud. We are proud as public schools to commemorate the legend of the Anzacs and what they have done for us, and also all servicemen and women who have given their lives and their service since that point. So that's going to be made really clear to every school community across New South Wales.
Mick, we've seen a resurgence in recent years of grandkids particularly walking on behalf of their grandparents who have served in the past. Anzac Day is a significant day for Australia and important to protect.
Yes, look, I think, Shervo, that's the most seminal day in our calendar year for veterans and for our community to come together. But on a positive note, I would point out, like the Minister has, thousands of schools across the nation will be commemorating Anzac Day next week prior to school holidays. And I also thank the Minister for being part of and helping us to commemorate the Schools Remember Anzac service, which is occurring in Hyde Park in Sydney tomorrow at 11.
And also explaining to people who may not understand how significant it is to this country. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're an Australian, you've probably seen the controversy surrounding Anzac Day, where a local school has excused certain students from commemorating Anzac Day out of religious beliefs. It may come as no surprise if I say that these students were part of the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church, or as they were formerly known, the Exclusive Brethren. Whilst the Exclusive Brethren do have their own exclusive schools for their members only, they do send their students for earlier education to public schools. Now, over the years, it's not the first time the Exclusive Brethren have made the news. It's often related to cases around this, and even more recently, this year. I escaped this cult 9 years ago this week. And since leaving, I have been excommunicated and have lost all contact with my family. We saw a statement where the church spokesman, Lloyd Grimshaw, said members of our church did not ask for our children attending Sherwood Ridge Public School to be excused from Anzac Day services. However, this is not the first time we've seen hypocrisies and lies from Lloyd Grimshaw. Lloyd is an active director of the Rapid Relief Team, a charity set up by the Brethren to maintain generous tax breaks by the government. And here, they've even boasted about delivering aid to Ukraine. Whilst the Brethren do not take up arms or commemorate fallen heroes, they will use war to their advantage where it benefits them. And in some cases, even own businesses that will make money off the back of war. We've seen this before, where the Brethren do not vote, however will donate hefty sums of money to certain parties' campaigns if it will benefit them. I'd like to address this to the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church if they were listening. However, I know that wouldn't be the case because they're not allowed to have social media or technology that enables them to. Can I remind you that the reason you have these religious freedoms is because of the people that fought for us to defend our country so that we can have the freedom of religion. And this is where the Exclusive Brethren cult seems to always come unstuck, where the lines between money, their religious beliefs, and their public image become blurred.
First, they asked for an exemption. When they were caught, they now deny it. But this isn't the first time they've been exposed for lying. And to further help them cover up their lies that is spreading through Australia like wildfire, they put up an Anzac Day YouTube video on their channel. Let's not forget how they went to court to keep their name out of the news when they asked the Human Rights Museum to cover their LGBTQ section. They lost this court case and it was exposed. Who is at the center of it all? Their man of God, elect vessel, Bruce D. Hales, the leader who dictates what his followers can see, hear, and even think. We exposed his lies in our podcast, and this latest scandal is just more of the same. Lie after lie, cover up after cover up. How many times do they have to get caught before the world stops believing their excuses? The truth always comes out. Don't let them rewrite it. These children need to witness history in order to forge ahead with a life without dictatorship.